Hello, it's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. I'm back for another set of what is going on? Woo, schmutzy. It's Sunday, October 10th, 2021. And this is the live stream for doing readings. They are $5 a question, 30% to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. We have donated enough this year so far to provide over 4,700 meals as of last count. And that's pretty awesome. So, as always, I'm not a lawyer, a therapist, a financial advisor, or a doctor. If you need one of those, please seek those. Kayla, I got your payment. Please like, please subscribe, help bring my numbers up, help let other people find out about me during the weeks, Monday, Thursday, and Friday, if willing, and my children are home or not home, whatever. I try to do chats about manifesting, um, reinvigorating you to continue your journey, creating the life that you want. Every day is a new opportunity to create the life you want. So join me for those at 10:30. There, we just chat. That's all we're there to do is chat. But why am I wearing a purple sweater? Because on October 1st, someone decided to troll me because, well, my husband likes to go on Twitter and argue with people. And I was connected to his Twitter page. So they came and trolled me. And I thought they dissed my sweater. And I thought, you know what? This is the perfect example of why you persist. Despite your negative thoughts in your head, all the little voices that tell you it's not possible, you're not good enough, or whatever, all of the odds are set against you, supposedly. Anybody who tells you you can't do something, this is the physical representation of this of persisting against all odds and reprogramming your belief systems. It takes about 30 days to do that. So I'm going to be doing that for the month of October. Every time you see me live, I'm wearing this purple sweater, and then I will probably never want to wear it again. So it looks a little maroonish, but in person it's much more purple. That said, I hope everybody is well. The payments are $5 to my PayPal. I send 30% to off of the top, not, before PayPal takes their cut. So I'm, taking less and less for me. So it's not really about the money here on Sundays. It's really, it was a way to decrease the number of people because I was getting like 50 people wanting their questions answered within the first 2 minutes. So I just didn't know how else to do it. And I thought, well, at least I can give to charity doing this too. And then during the holidays, I usually give around 100. I usually give 100% starting around Thanksgiving through Christmas or even through New Year's. I think the last 2 years I did. So that said, I will check Highway 138. Like and subscribe, share me with your friends. Oh, I have a new psychic development circle I'm going to be opening. It will start November 2nd. I just need to get it up into my website, and I'll have that done later today. So that should be open. I'll send out a reminder letter. If you're subscribed to my email list, you will get a reminder letter about that. I can make a little post here on YouTube once it's up to. Now that I have over 1,000 people, I can put little comments on. It's the little things, y'all. So thank you for all of your support and your love and all of that. Should we start questions? Should we start, Nicole? You are up first. I feel like I was thinking about you the other day. So lots of cool things have been happening. I'm creating something. And it's going to be an actual product. I hope that you guys like. So I'm just in several stages of getting the perfect fit for it. So I'm waiting for something to come to see if I want to zhuzh it up a little bit. That's it. I should have it. I think by the end of the month, I'm going to have like a working physical thing of it. And I'll tell you more about that later once I have it available. I don't like, I always tell you guys that it's not a candle, it's not crystals, it's nothing. It's super practical and helpful because I am practical and helpful, and candles are nice, but you don't need a candle to help you manifest, and you don't need a special bath water, and you don't need any of that stuff. So this is actually to help you use your noggins. Okay, Aura, I'll check. Okay, I will do a general for you. Let me double check the PayPal. And I was so excited because I got reconnected with my little cousin. She's not little, she's a grown woman. And I haven't talked to her in a very, 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 very long time. And I'm incredibly grateful. So If you think things are impossible, they are not. Um, I don't know. Okay. I got you, Aura. Okay, wait. Highway 138, I have you for one. Aura, I have you for two. And Laura, I have you for one. Okie dokie artichokes. Let's do this. It's also kind of exciting. I don't know. I'm just really excited. So this is all good stuff. I've got my rock. All right, let's go. Nicole wants to know. It was a good thought. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was about manifesting and you and manifesting. I don't remember. Mallory, if you're here, I'm thinking about you and your foot. I hope you're healing and doing well. Starry Eyes, if you're here. Starry Skies. You could have starry eyes too, though. I hope you're healing and doing well too. Okay, so let's do, I hope everybody's well. Okay, let's go, Nicole. Sorry, my nose is tickling. Have you had like itchy nose, tickling nose, runny nose, something going on with your nose lately? I don't know what this is. I keep seeing you like standing on the edge of a cliff, like, I don't know, have you ever gone cliff jumping? I have a fear of heights. So I've done jumping in Mexico and I think I did it twice and then I was like, it's like, and then there's like a ropes course challenge thing where you climb to the top of a telephone pole and you stand on the edge and you jump for like a trapeze bar. I mean, you're totally harnessed in, but it's like scary. It's like that feeling of like having to push yourself over the edge. Like you're there, you know, you'll be fine because this cliff jumping thing is like, I knew I was, I mean, you know, it was a place where people go to cliff jumping. So it was like, but it's like that feeling of like standing over the edge and feeling like you're going to like, you didn't know but it's not the literal thing. So it's just the feeling of like that where it's metaphorical. It's like I'm standing on the edge and I need to take the step and I know I'll be better off, but it's like that fear and the hesitation. And I feel like it's connected to work. It's not connected to a personal life. It's connected to work. And it's like they're saying like, take the leap, take the leap, take the leap. You will be fine. It looks scarier than it is. Take the leap. I also feel like you're getting caught up in racing thoughts because it's like going from one thing to another to another. And I feel like I just want to put the brakes on and breathe. It's almost makes me feel nauseous from it. Um, I don't know. It's like not really anxiety. Maybe, I mean, maybe this is anxiety that I don't understand, but it's like you need to make that choice to stop that thought pattern. You have to say, like, you have to go in and reprogram. Well, I'm really big on this manifesting thing, honest to God. The more and more I work on it, and the more I implement it in my life, and the more like that's why I do these chats because it's like it's really fascinating how powerful our minds are in the negative and in the positive. And it's like at a point you have to make that choice to stop those racing thoughts and say, okay, I get it. Like, you know, the ego is there sort of as a way, it was implemented as a way to protect you for a long time as a like a protective coping mechanism, but there's no reason that you need to like you're an adult, you're safe, you're secure, you're, you know, you take care of yourself. And so you have to remind that little part of you that you're safe, you're secure, it'll be fine, that no matter what you end up on your feet. Look, you've made it this far in life. You're okay. Okay, Gia, I'll check in a second. Also, just a friendly reminder, I do offer private readings. if you're ever interested or you know anybody who would be interested. They're on my website. Um, does any of this make sense, Nicole? I don't know what poop devil means. Oh. Well, good, because I really wasn't sure what poop devil means, and are those, like, the ones that do you use those a lot? Are they in your, like, "I use these a lot"? Mine are, like, the party thing and, like, this one and this one. I use those ones a lot. Okay. It's like, especially with work, and I also feel like it's something is this with investing? It's like, I need to take this leap and I'm not doing it. It's just that feeling that you're gonna be okay. You're not in danger. So when I went scuba diving in Hawaii on my honeymoon, I had, like, really bad, like, I felt like I couldn't breathe even though it's an oxygen tank and stuff like that, when with the mask on and the, rebreather on. I don't know was it a rebreather or not, but and I just looked at the guy, I was like, "You have to push me over the edge of the boat." Like, and he's like, "What?" I go, I'm not gonna be able to you're gonna have to shove me off. And I'm fine with that, just shove me off. Like, I couldn't and it's like, literally, they're like, "We're about to shove you off." Like, it's like, they've given you enough time, they've been nice, they've been like and they've done the countdown, they're gonna shove you off the edge, so just get ready. You don't have an option anymore. Your job offered you something to invest in, and you weren't sure if they're in here you go, take it. It's good. And it feels like they're literally going to shove you into it if you don't take it. Okay. Um, yeah. By the way, I loved scuba diving. Once I was under the water, they yelled at me because I was like kept trying to go underwater because I just felt more relaxed once I was under the water. When I was above it with the thing on, I was like, "Ugh, control." I don't know. It just felt weird. So yeah. So that's what I want to say is just get ready because if you don't take the leap on your own, they're gonna shove you off the edge. All right. Okey doke. Rock Don, I'll do your two. Let's see. Will I be able to buy a house number 413? I also wanted to know if this will be good for my mom, dad, and me. And will my mom's health improve a little bit? She reached the hospital. Okay, it's not a blockage to your life. It's not a blockage to your life. It's not a blockage to your life. So there are no blocks to your life other than you believing that something's a block to your life. Okay. Okay. Because literally circumstances don't matter. It doesn't matter how impossible something looks if you just it will work. There will always be a will to find a way. It was interesting. Somebody posted something, and I'm speaking of this, and then I'm going to go into your thing. My coach posted a like he's Christian, so he'll post Bible quotes, but it was funny. It was one, and I was like, it was Isaiah 43. Trying to remember which verse it was. Maybe 18 and 19. But it was like basically, then it caused me to keep going through Isaiah because I was like, oh, let me see if I can apply this to the law of assumption. And you can. It's like basically like there are no blocks to anything unless you decide there's a block to something. And even when something seems impossible, anything is possible. It's only impossible if you decide that it's impossible or you believe somebody else saying that it's impossible. Okay. Yeah, Nicole, you can. That's fine. So, all right, let's look at 413. This is weird. I don't know what this answer is. They said, "Yes, you will, but not in the order you want." So, I don't know if you it's almost this feeling like you put something in on it and then it like somebody else gets it, and so you're sort of like in the process of looking at other ones and then it comes up again. So it's like there's some weird thing about it that it doesn't it's like not or maybe it's not really available. I don't know what it is, but it's like not the maybe you think you want it in April, but it's not there and it doesn't work out until May. I don't know, but it's something that the way they're showing this to me is like my friend lives in a townhouse complex type thing. And so she wanted when she was looking at them, she wanted one that had like a third story so she could have her office up there. And so it feels like it's like, but and they looked at several different ones. She's like, no, 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 this is the one, this is the style I want. But they looked at several different styles with there. So it may be that you want number 413, but 413 is not available, but number 422, I won't do the weed thing. 422 is available, but it's the exact same layout as 413. So it might be something like that. Okay. Does that make sense that there would be like homes that look exactly alike in the same neighborhood? You will get something, not I may, you will get something. It will work out. It's happening for you. Um, and the home that you get, I do feel like it will be the right one. And I actually feel like it's going to be wheelchair accessible for your mom because I think she's going to need, if not a wheelchair, she's going to need a ramp and have it be like accessible for her to be able to use an assistive device, either a walker or a cane or something like that. So it feels like if there's two stairs in the front, there's a little ramp or something that helps get up the house. And I do feel like there'll be like a room. I keep seeing it as a two-story home, so I don't know if that makes sense, but it feels like there's an upstairs and a downstairs, and the downstairs is like there it's perfect for mom because she doesn't need to deal with that, but I feel like okay, so let me it's a planned house society. Okay, okay, and all the houses are the same. Okay, perfect. So it feels like to me like you'll get that like thing, but it might not happen in the so maybe you're hoping to have it like at a certain time and it just takes a little bit longer, but you're gonna get the house. That I see you're gonna get the house. It might not be exactly 413, but it'll look exactly like it. Um, you're not in the way of manifesting good health for her, but you need to stop looking at the like what's right in front of you. So two different instances of patients that I took care of, and this is before I understood manifesting, and this is before I knew I could do all of what I do, but very profound things. One of them, I remember having a very, I can't give too many details because of HIPAA and stuff, but I remember having a conversation with the mom and saying, like literally telling her what the path of it was going to be and where they were going to be at with the progress of her and that it's like step forward, step backward, blah blah blah. And I said, but I know, I know this baby's going home, blah blah blah. And like they came back to visit because that happens sometimes at children's hospitals is they'll come back and visit and show us the progress of their kids, which is amazing because some of them are with you for such long periods of time. And And she was like, "You were right. Everything you said, you were right. It happened exactly as you said it would happen." So I know your mom, like, I know from the very first time I did this reading, and I don't know if this is psychic or not, but I'm like, I am doubling down on what I said. She's never going to be 100%, but she is going to get better and she is going to get out of the hospital and but it's going to take time. And I said that. So maybe you have to go back from the first time. I will look at my PayPal and find the first time you asked the question and I will email it to you, to go back and rewatch that. And I want you to just, when you're doubting, when you have a moment and you see, like, oh my God, she went back in the hospital again, I need you to go back to that and watch that. And remind yourself that she's going to get better. She's going to be at home. She won't ever be 100% because she had a pretty major stroke, and it's going to improve. And so, despite what it looks like right now, despite the setback that I might see right now, I know she's going to improve. And you need to hold that in your head. There is no magical, like, how many candles do I need to light? How many people do I need to pray for her? What do I need to put around her bed? It's not that. It's just, if you need reassurance, I'm going to find out the first time you paid me PayPal, and you go back and you watch that date and find where I did the reading for you, and remind yourself it's going to be okay. There are going to, like, a medical healing path is rarely ever linear. It's rarely ever a straight line. It's usually like, it's like you move 3 steps forward and 1 step back, but I know what I saw and I know what I felt. Um, it just feels like this is a little hiccup, and then they fix it, and then it's like, "Oh, we don't run into this problem again because it was just this little thing, and then we're gonna be on top of it more." Similarly to the one of the times I said to you, it's like her Depends needs to be changed to a different brand. It's irritating her. And I get it. I mean, it's hard when something's staring you in the face constantly to go, "Is this possible?" Like, I mean, if you've heard some of the readings I've gotten from people about my own future where I'm like, and now I'm like, like, even now I'm like, how is that even possible? Because your 3D that's sitting in front of you looks so different. I mean, there are things that I've come to fruition now as an adult that I manifested back when I was in high school. Like, to the type of car that I wanted, and I, like, didn't even realize it until, because it's like cars and things like that are not really a big deal, but, like, I think when I was in high school, I wanted an Explorer because that was, like, I know it's a mom car, right? But, like, I was not affluent, but I went to school in an affluent area, and, people drove Explorers. I was like, "That'd be cool one day to be able to drive one of those." And just kinda, like, left it at that. Wasn't ever like, "I need to have one." My first car I ever bought on my own was a Civic, so it's like practical, has good resale value, reliable, not a gas guzzler. But I ended up with an Explorer now because it's like I needed to be able to drive around in the winter here because I live in a hilly area, whatever. And I was like, "Oh, wow, that's weird. It happened, and it wasn't even something that I was, like, needing." It just feels like, just go back to that and think of that. So, and then instead of saying it'll require efforts to sell the land, it sold easily. It happened. It went like that. I didn't even worry about it. It just happened easily. And, like, when you start to doubt that and go, well, but everybody else says it happened easily. Like with my nursing school, I should have been on a wait list. There's all these other things that should have happened. And I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, I heard the voice. I'm going to nursing school. So, like, this woman was like, well, if you pass this, I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. When I passed that test, like, I didn't let somebody else's, whatever their experience was, change what I knew was going to happen. So it's like, it sells easily, it sells quickly. I get more than asking price for it. It's done. It happened. It worked out. Everything works out in, best case scenario for me, and just decide that. And I know it's easier said than done, but it is that easy. Okay. I don't feel like your mom is gonna be in the hospital that long. So it's I get 2 or 3, so and I know 2 or 3 weeks sounds terrible, but it's like it's either 2 or 3 days or 2 or 3 weeks. It's not months and months and months. And it really I'm leaning more towards the 2 or 3 days because it just feels like something quick, like, I don't know if it's a UTI or something like that, but it feels like a quick and like, "Oh, we just need to do adjust something so that we're more on top of it." All right, Nicole, you wanna know about Duncan and Lumi. After Laura, I have Gia for 2. Um, so what I feel like happens with Duncan and Lumi is I feel like, it sort of just fades away. It's not even issues, it's just, so her I feel like she's, like, taking more of a and I don't mean to say needy, but there's this, like, trying to reel it in and, like, trying to, like it's like she's approaching it from fear and lack, and I feel like he's sort of like, "This is more trouble than it's worth." He can't like, he's trying to focus on his new life, and I feel like a new job, something, so it's like feels like new, I'm trying to focus on this, and this is, like, so much, and it's not worth it. Like, I don't feel like I see them moving close together again, so I think this is gonna fade out within the next 2 months. Um, so it's funny to me when people are like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah, of course somebody new is gonna come in." Like, that's just the nature of it. Like, I don't think your sister likes being single, to be honest with you. Um, oh, but I feel like the next relationship is not gonna be great for her. Um, they actually said the next one's gonna be a doozy. Like, it doesn't feel like it feels like a lot of dysfunction, and it feels short-lived, maybe 5 or 6 months. But I feel like this will be a catalyst for her to, like, sort of be a little bit more introspective and look at, "Okay, why do my relationships keep ending up this way? What's the pattern here?" And taking the steps to make the changes within her. It doesn't mean she's not good enough. It doesn't mean she's not lovable or valuable or worthy or anything, but it's like that's the aha moment, that, like, catalyst that switches her to going, all right, I'm the common denominator here. What are my belief systems that are bringing this stuff in? But I feel like the next one's going to be really an emotional roller coaster ride. Prove me wrong. Make the shift now. I don't care. That's just what they're showing me. I'm always happy for you guys to come back and prove me wrong. Be like, nah, 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 nah. I'm in love. I got married. Do it. Prove me wrong. Yes, Kay is sorry. I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember. Okay. Sorry, Kayla. We have you. Okay, Nicole? Yeah, so it's like sort of look something that being reconnected with my cousin sort of made me realize is like I have a lot of dysfunctional. I came from a dysfunctional family, and by virtue, she's part of my family. So, and then just looking at how um my aunt is calling me right now. I actually probably need to, like, let me mute this. I probably really need to take this. I don't know how to mute it, but hello? Hi, Chad. What's up? It is her. It is her. I told her to call to find out if she could visit before she tried to plan to come down there. If they were even accepting visitors. Okay, okay. Yeah, no, that's totally fine. I just said call up and find out even from the hospital if you can even, if he can have visitors because of COVID. Because if you can't have visitors, then there's no point in flying down there. Okay, okay. She might, yeah, I'll let her know. Okay? Okay, I'll have her contact you. Sure, no problem. Did you hear all that? Did you hear all that? Sorry. Family. Okay, so what was I saying? Cheryl, I got yours. Sorry guys, there's a little bit of family stuff going on. That would be why I get to talk to my cousin again, but it doesn't always come with happy happy joy. Okay, so that makes sense to Nicole. Okay, so now moving on. Thank you for your patience. That was weird. Okay, Devery, you're up. I've got highway. Please like and subscribe. Please, and thank you. Let me check if anybody else is paid. Okay, that's it. We're up to date on payments. So I've got Devery, then Ashley, then Regine. Kay, you're down a couple. You still have a couple people ahead of you. And then Highway 138, you're right after Kay. Oh, okay. I'll add KK after Gia. I got you, Laura, on here. You paid for 2 questions? Yes, you did. For whatever reason, it didn't come up initially as 2. It just came up as 1. Okie doke. Yeah. Everybody's sort of okay. This is what happens when it's live and you are a normal human being without a whole team taking care of everything. Okay, Devery, do you have a question? Are you here? Oh, there you are, Lovey. Okay, I keep trying to manifest a good relationship and keep getting bad ones, and I'm frustrated. And I am I doing something wrong, or lessons still need to be learned before a partner comes? Um, so the very first thing is like it's more about knowing. It's not about not meeting quality people. It's sort of knowing your own self-worth is their thing. They're saying like, I am valuable, I'm worthy, I am safe. It's like maybe you get like one or a couple dates in and it's like great. And then all of a sudden it starts to go downhill and you start to doubt whether or not they really like you. And what if I'm not good enough for them? And you sort of they're saying like go back to the core self beliefs. I am valuable, I am worthy, I'm confident. Of course, they would want me because I am valuable, I am worthy, I'm confident, I'm the most amazing person they've ever met. It is no crazier to tell people or to say to yourself like I'm beautiful. You're not saying I'm the most beautiful person in the entire world. There is no one else more beautiful than me. But likewise, when you're hell is going on? Likewise, when you're saying like I'm ugly, you're not going, I'm the ugliest person there ever was. Like, so why isn't it okay to say like I am beautiful and to own that? You're not saying I'm beautiful and nobody else is beautiful. You're saying I am beautiful and that's okay. So I am beautiful, I am valuable, I am interesting, I am smart, I am kind, I am worthy, I am lovable. Some of us don't believe that we're lovable, and that's just silly. We are all lovable. No matter perfect or not, you're perfect just as you are, you're whole and complete. And they're just sort of saying what happens is they're telling you, see, you can manifest a relationship. You can have, it doesn't matter the state you're in, you can have a relationship. The problem why you're like they're not really great is because now you're going, I don't have to tolerate this. I don't have to tolerate because I'm worthy and I'm valuable. So now when you're in those spots, say I'm worthy and I'm valuable. You're kind of in that in between. It's sort of like the old stuff is still showing up. That old story is still showing up. Oh, this is interesting. The more I yammer, they're like, no, 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 this is what's going on. The old story is showing up. And so you're going, oh, I don't need to accept this anymore. So just keep persisting so the new story reel can like get put into play. Keep persisting. I am valuable. I am worthy. I am kind. The universe is always, got my back. Things are always working on my favor. Good men always show up. And then when you start dating someone, just stop worrying about if you're good enough for them or if they like you. Be like, all right, are they worth my time? And I know that sounds like we think, oh, that's like really, it's not narcissistic, but like, oh, for you to think that, but like really and truly, are they worth your time? Do they deserve to have a relationship with you? Because you are valuable, because you are worthy, because you are kind, you are a really good person, Devery. And I know that just from the tiny little bit of time that I get to see you on here and the tiny bit of like, the little notes and things you thoughtfully pass. So when you give me little notes with your PayPal, like you're a wonderful person. Own that. It's not arrogant to say you're a good person. It's not arrogant to say you're beautiful. It's not arrogant to say you're wonderful and deserving and worthy and valuable. So it's not learning it before they come in, even when they come in. Keep saying those things to yourself. Ah, my kids went costume shopping with my husband. Well, two of them. My oldest is like, so I hear them yammering now in the door. So you are valuable, you are worthy, you are kind, you are good, you are deserving. And remind yourself that when you're going through it. I had like a weird moment today and I was like kind of like down in a weird bluesy thing. And I was like, oh no, circumstances don't matter. It doesn't matter what it looks like right now. Circumstances don't matter. Everything's always working out in my favor. See, KK's right. You will find the love that you deserve. I don't feel like it's that far. I just feel like this is sort of still the old 3D still playing out, like the old there's a little bit of lag time. You know, when you see those, things where it says like a delayed green light? It's a delayed green, and it's not delayed because you need it to be delayed. It's like sort of just the old story is still kinda lingering and hanging out there, and it just needs to, like, play itself out. So don't worry about it. This doesn't matter. This is whatever. This is just the old story showing up. Okay? Ashley, I hope that's helpful for you. Ask your question. Oh, wait, you'd already asked it. You don't have to tell me. Can you remind me the gentleman's name again, though? Olivier. Olivier. Should I Americanize it? Oliver? Olivier sounds so much nicer than Oliver. Um, hmm. Yours is another kind of like manifesty thing where it's sort of like, take him off the pedestal. So, like, I feel like he gets a little, like, cold feetish. It's also, he's coming out of a big relationship, so it's like he can get overwhelmed. But I also feel like yours is sort of like your story that you tell, like, so it's like needs to be again, you need yours sort of needs to be more of the like, of course he would want me, of course he wants to be with me because I'm the best option for him. I'm lovable, I'm kind, I'm good, I'm smart, we have a lot in common. I'm the most beautiful, like whatever it is. Like, but those say those things because you need to remind yourself and quit having self-doubts about your value and your worth. Um, when you fill this is what happens when you fill up that self love and you fill up that and you repair that self concept and have the confidence. It isn't that you're like, I don't need anybody, but you're like, I don't need anybody. Like, so if they're not going to show up the way that I deserve for someone to show up because I'm worthy and I'm valuable, and they're going to only show up with breadcrumbs and they're going to be this way and that I don't need that. I don't need if you love yourself, you don't need to hear that somebody else loves you. Is it nice? Yes. But you don't need that because you know what? If you're not going to show up, the bus stops every 5 minutes. It doesn't mean you're never going to find a relationship. It means the right person shows up and the way you need him to. That said, you can have him show up the way you want, but just stop putting the energy out there of I'm worried about it. This is a little tiny example of this. And it's gonna sound silly because it's with my bunny, but I'm gonna just bear with me on the bunny thing. Bunnies have funny personalities. They're, um they're kinda like cats, but they're not like cats. Like, they're not total assholes like cats are. Sorry if you have cats and you love them, but I've had a lot of cats growing up and dogs, and, like, dogs are like, and they love you no matter what. Like, they are just like, "The world couldn't be better. I love you. You're the best thing in the world." And cats are like, "I guess." I had one cat that was kind of like a dog, and he lived on our patio, so we called him Patio. He sort of adopted us. But bunnies are different. And bunnies can be like, like my bunny literally is like, bitch, I'm going to do it on my own time. And I say this because she doesn't really call me bitch, but she'll like thump at me and she'll turn around and put her back to me when she's like annoyed with me. And she'll kick her feet up and hop away when she's annoyed. And I love her and she's wonderful and she's very sweet and gives lots of kisses and all of that stuff too. But like they'll growl at you too. She doesn't growl at me, but she's growled at my husband um I so at bedtime, at nighttime, I'll go, "Okay, it's nighttime." So we need to go, and she has an X pen. It's 4x2. It's like a dog exercise pen, but it's really tall, so she can't jump over it. And we keep it in this one area, and I call it her bedroom. And I have it set up, and there's even a little IKEA doll bed in there. Like that's raw, so she can chew on it because bunnies need to chew. It's a little ridiculous. And her litter box is in there, and her hay and all of that. And I'll check Mariana. And I was trying the other night, and I've done this exactly twice, and each time it turns out the same way. I was trying my hardest to get her to like trying to like she does not like to be carried because she's a prey animal, but so I was trying to like scoop her in, like kind of like, herd her into her little X pen. And because she free roams during the day. And she was like not having it. And so I was like, fine, whatever. And I went and sat down, and both times I went and sat down, I was like, whatever. She's going to go in there on her own. I just know it. It's done. She's going to go in there on her own. She's just like playing this game of like, I'm going to do it on my own time in my own way. And within 5 minutes, she went in there on her own, and I closed the cage, whatever. So it just feels like you need to relax and stop worrying about like, he's not paying enough attention to me. He's not this, like, he's got shit to do. Like maybe he had all that time to spend with you, and maybe he's busy with a work project. I actually feel like he's sort of like, do I want to get this far in? I do feel like he has feelings for you. And I feel like it's a little overwhelming for him because he's left a big relationship, and it's like, whoa, I didn't expect to find something like this right away. So it feels like you need to just relax and be like, it's fine. He loves me. It's done. I'm like, I'm good. I'm safe. I'm valuable. I'm lovable. I'm not worried about what he's doing because I've got stuff to do, and he'll get a hold of me when he gets a hold of me, and it'll show up fully. And it's not going to be breadcrumbs, and I don't have to beg him to do it because he cares about me. And like, just go do your own thing. It's not about because I'm going to distance makes the heart grow fonder. It's none of those games. It's not that. It's sitting in your own confidence and your own value and your own worth. He'll show up. Don't worry about it. I really do feel like he cares about you. Like they literally, and they didn't say that before. They were just showing me before, like, no, he likes her. He's just sort of like, it's about him. What's going on with him has nothing to do with you right now. It's like sort of like him needing to process his own emotions and his own feelings and where they're at. Okay. He's not talking to anybody else. It's literally like he's in his head. So, and here's the other thing. You're going to create a third party situation, or, you're going to create somebody else if you get all like send your energy that way. So it's fine. It doesn't matter. So when you start to get to that worried feeling, it's I am safe, I am secure, I am loved, I am valuable, I am lovable, I am perfect just as I am. I'm the best choice. Of course of course he's not seeing anybody else because I'm amazing. I'm wonderful. I'm smart. I'm funny. I'm great in bed, like whatever you want to put it. Like I am magnetic. I am like the catch. Start telling yourself that. It's not crazy. It's crazier to me to tell yourself you're horrible, awful, and like not enough to say the negative stuff. He's kind of asked you the same because you're creating the uncertainty. So create the certainty. Of course, it's fine. We're good. You don't need to be on top of him every single day, all day long when you're in a relationship and you're secure in yourself and secure in who you are. It's not like, let's put it this way. If you were dating someone who you like, say you had a week where you were busy and you weren't able to like phone call or hang out quite as much, you still really liked them, you still really cared about them, you were just sort of in your own head with stuff. If you were dating someone who was like, I mean, are you seeing someone else? Like, what's going on? You'd be like, fuck, like it's a week, dude. And it's also like, not like insecurity is not sexy. Like, really, is that a turn on for you? Like someone being with someone who's like insecure, nervous, and like, so don't be those things. If that's not a turn on for you, don't be those things for somebody else. Don't be the thing that you don't find attractive. Be the person that you think would be attractive, right? Somebody who's secure in themselves, somebody who's stable, somebody who's got their shit together, somebody who knows that whether or not you're spending a million hours with them, they know that you're okay and you're good and you've got a good relationship. Okay. And you can say, no, I'm not saying anybody else, but we're good. Take your time. So if you can't see it, well, so send dirty pictures. Get secure enough in yourself to where if you can't see each other for a few weeks, it's okay. We're still together. Like, I'm not gonna be seeing anybody. You gonna be seeing anybody? Like, just but you're gonna create a situation where you're not together if you sit in your anxiety, Ashley. That's fine, KK, thank you. He's not talking to anybody else at all. Regine, what do you need to know for your future? This is weird. I fully admit it. The first thing I heard was stay away from the cat, and I see a black book also. Um, does this make any sense to you? What's oh gosh? um, I almost feel like the cat is metaphorical and not like a literal cat. So I don't know if it's like someone who has a business logo with a cat when you're making a decision or oh well, weird. It is weird, right? um, okay, so let's look at do you what do you want to know about? Do you want me to go look at business or like a I feel like whatever this is, it's like it feels like it's in your home. So it feels like choosing if you're choosing somebody to work for you or a contractor. Kind of schmutzy there. Um, it feels like related to that. And the black book feels like, like a like it's like a phone book. So it feels like or a contact type thing. Who has phone books anymore, right? But it just feels like whatever it is, it's like if you're hiring someone in your home, like a contractor or something, stay away from the cat. So if they have like a panther or a tiger or some kind of cat logo or cat in the name, stay away from that. It feels like that. So maybe you like end up, getting a few estimates on some work or something on your house. Are you planning on doing some remodeling in your home? It feels home related, so it doesn't feel work related, it doesn't feel outside the home. You're looking right now for an employee. Okay, so if your employee has cat in the name, either the first or the last name, or, maybe they walk in with like a black portfolio. It's weird because it feels more like, not a flat like, it's, like, spirally or there's a something like a cat logo on their portfolio, something, but stay away from the cat, whatever that means. Are you are you doing the interviews from your home? Earning from the office. I don't know exactly why I'm seeing it, like, I literally feel like like do you have a kitchen in your office? Or an area where there would be, like because the way I see it is, counter space, cabinets above, and a sink. That's why it feels like a kitchen to me. But offices can have that too. I know my husband's office has like a kitchen area where I don't know, it's not really a break room, but it's like I don't know what they call it. You do. Okay. So maybe what I'm seeing is, and there's like plants or something because I see some greenery. So maybe it's that I'm see you sitting there and I'm looking that way and I see this like black folder thing. Okay. So then this is what it's related to. So stay away from the cat. So I don't know if cat is in the name or if there's going to be something where it's like maybe they have a cat tattoo, but there's something with cat. So stay away from that. So maybe this person presents themselves really, really well. And, some people interview very, very well, but it feels like stay away from this. And I know this will make sense to you. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to leave you with that. You are very welcome. Okay. You wrote, should I move with Jamie? He offered me less rent, but I'm not sure if I regret leaving my current situation with my friend and not like it here. Um, I feel like Jamie is a little OCD, like, and likes things just so. So as long as you're really good with like having things be and living like that for a little while because you want to save some money, then it's a good thing. But if that discount may not be worth the emotional payoff or the emotional debt. Um, I remember talking to someone, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make 10 grand more a year, blah blah blah," but was gonna have to travel like an hour and 45 minutes or something ridiculous or over an hour just for her drive. And it wasn't worth like the juice wasn't worth the squeeze kind of thing. That's what it feels like to me. Like, so as long as you're good with somebody who's very like you're like, "Oh, he's so clean, it's nice," but like he's like OCD clean. Does this make any sense, Kay? I'm not saying you should do anything. What I'm telling you is Jamie super OCD? Is Jamie a very clean person? Wait, Jamie is OCD or Sam is OCD? Jamie's a mess. Is his personality like very like has to have things a certain way? Because there feels like some weird control element. I'm sticking to this because of the way I got it. I don't think I'm getting it confused. There's something like very this about Jamie. So I don't know exactly what that is, but it's like it may not be worth. Jamie offered me to move in his place for half the price of the rent. There's something there where I'm like, it may not. the way I'm feeling it is like, oh, I'm like really things have to be this way or something has to be this way. There's something about his personality that's very exact. That's very like it has to be this way, this way, this way. So one of my children, I love her dearly, cannot handle change very well. Like she needs lots of time to know that like if her routine is going to change. She needs a heads up, she needs a warning. She doesn't deal with like on the spot like changes. So like it's like unnerving to her. So we're very routine oriented. Um maybe this is what it is. Like there's just it's just like there's something with Jamie. So maybe, yeah, maybe he's a mess, but there's still something where it's like things have to be a certain way, or it's like very unnerving. Is he maybe on the spectrum? Like, I don't know what this is, but there's something there and I can't like there it's not Sam. So it feels like it may not the juice may not be worth the squeeze. That makes sense when I'm saying that? Okay. So it may not be worth it. So if you're okay with that short term of knowing that like things have to be very this way, just to save some money, then go do it. Like I can't tell you what you should do either way. I can just tell you if you do, it feels like there's this sort of like a little bit of an emotional drain. Um, and so if you're willing to like know that this is short term, I can do this to save money so I can buy the condo I want, and you're willing to make that emotional investment sacrifice, go for it. But otherwise, I'd stay where you're at and just deal with the fact that like I'm not saving as much money. Okay? There's something where it has to be like this. Victorian Princess, these are paid readings. They are $5 a question. Oh, okay. Somebody handled that. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Recton. Um, you're very welcome. And then your second question was, what is something happy in my immediate future by the end of the year that I should look forward to? So, lady, you know I'm going to go back to the manifesting shit. um, and also, I don't do doom and gloom readings, right? We don't do doom and gloom. That doesn't happen here. So anything I give you, I feel like is positive. Like you're always going to find the twist and the good into it because I just sort of live my life that way. Just that's how I live. I refuse to live any other way. So let's look what's going to happen. That's good for her. Why am I seeing a little like light colored dog? It could be white or a light cream color or a light golden color. Sometimes it's like not great, but it looks like it could either be of these breeds because the head shape is very similar and the haircut is very similar. So either and it would be like a puppy cut for a Bichon, not a professional like Bichon Frise, big poofy haircut, whatever. So a puppy cut for a Bichon or like a Cocker Spaniel or so a little bit longer, curlier hair, or could be a small golden doodle, but I'm seeing like this little, like kind of scruffy, light colored white dog. Your dog is white, but a boxer. I'm seeing like not a boxer. I know boxers. I'm seeing a smaller 20 to 30-pound top size dog with curly hair. So this could be a dog that's coming into your life then. It may not be your dog specifically, it may be a roommate's dog, but it could be a dog that somehow is coming into your life, or maybe you do like rescue work, where you foster a dog for a little bit. Dogs are a lot, bunnies are a lot. Cats you can leave like for a couple days if you have to. You can't leave bunnies. What is its purpose? It doesn't feel like it's a matter of a purpose, it just feels like this is something that would that would actually bring you joy come into your life. I don't feel like, if you don't want it as a full pet, but somehow it's coming into your life. So again, maybe it's somebody you're dating that comes into your life and has this little dog, but somehow this is coming into your life and it does bring you joy. And you know what? You said what something happy that's going to come in. So I want to know when this dog shows up in your life, it will be around a happy event. It will be around something that does bring you joy. So either it's a roommate that gets this dog, or it's a romantic interest, or not the dog is a romantic interest. Like, let's get a little, like, we're not getting weird here. um, or it's you end up fostering for a short period of time before it finds its home. Okay. But that's what I see coming to your life. But it is around something good. It's not like, but it's not the dog isn't the purpose. It's what it represents. Okay. Highway 138, you're up. Aura, you're up. You're very welcome. When you ask pretty big, broad, general questions, you sometimes get weird answers, and it's not my fault. Blame the gods that be. Okay. Um, I've got one for Mariana and one for Corti. Hmm. What is AW's first name? Do you mind giving me that? Alex. Thank you. Highway 138, are you still here? Calling Cheryl. Okay. I feel like relocating in 6 months and not before that. And it feels like because that's like a job becomes available at that point. And then you and Alex are in a long distance relationship. When do you see us meeting in person? I'm like, I got 3 months. Go ahead and type your question, Highway 138. I got 3 months. And so I was like trying to figure out like when is that? And it's like because I was like at the holiday time but it's like after the first of the year in January. It feels like it's more of a viable option, or I don't know if, um, airfare becomes such that it's just easier, what happens, but it's like things open up, something like that, but it feels like after January. And I do feel like relocation in the next 6 months, but not any sooner than that. Oh, that's Aura. You're welcome. And always come back and let me know if I'm right. I always like validations. I got a large court settlement. There is a second phase to get the money. Do you see when? March. Um, it feels like there's like a refiling or something that has to happen. And then it's just slow through the paper, going through the paperwork and then the holidays sort of like, so it just feels like March. So I don't know what the wait period or is, but it feels like by March. So it may be that you get like notification that you're going to receive it, that it's going to happen, but then it doesn't come through until March because then there's more paperwork to file in order to get them to like, print out the check and send it to you. It feels like a lot of bureaucratic stuff, like just paperwork and like, so it's not that you aren't going to get it. It's just bureaucratic, like all like going through all the right channels to get to it. And congratulations on your large settlement. Laura, you're up, and Gia, you're up. Does that make sense for timing, Cheryl? I mean, Highway 138? Laura, my sister Miriam has been diagnosed with breast cancer. I'm sorry to hear that. I immediately heard 2A. Have they staged it yet? They say 2 years, but you want it sooner. I feel like it'll be sooner. So Highway 138, how do you manifest that? I got the money sooner than expected, way earlier than expected. Everything happened quickly. You can speed it up. They realized they were wrong and how long they told me it would be. It's actually only 6 months, whatever it is. You don't remember. So I feel like 2A. And so I don't feel stage 4 or anything like that. I feel 2A. So 2A is contained, but I think maybe like metastases into like the one lymph node or something like that. There's like a whole bunch of little different things, but I feel like maybe just like a little bit of chemo and radiation, and they'll do like a little lumpectomy. I don't feel like a full mastectomy. And I feel like she'll be fine and it doesn't return. It feels like it's like a weird fluke type thing. It doesn't feel like she has the BRCA gene or it's a rapid growing lump. Can you, KK, will you please post the link for my PayPal for Rosie? She can't find a way to pay. She'd like to pay. So yeah, I feel like it, I'm sorry. It's scary. But I do feel like she'll be okay. That's my sense. And a general message for Laura. I also feel like I have to tell you that I feel like, whenever we have somebody that's either our mother or a sibling that has breast cancer, because men can get breast cancer too, we tend to worry them about our risk because our risk is increased as well. And I feel like you don't have to worry. So I keep feeling being brought to this. So alcohol increases your risk of breast cancer exponentially. And I feel like it's something like she drinks and you don't. There's something there where it's like you don't have to worry because it might actually be related to that. But I feel like you don't have to worry. Okay. Though I do feel like you're prone to fibrous, like dense breast tissue, fibrous breast tissue, and I feel like maybe like a little cyst or something like that. And I keep being brought to my right breast, so it would probably be on your right side if you have anything like that. So if you feel anything, it doesn't mean don't follow up and just ignore it. It just means that when you're going in, go in knowing that like it's going to be okay. Like that makes sense when I say that. Okay, so don't go to panic town. Go into like I'm going to do the things that take care of me. I'm going to stay on top of my doctor's visits, my mammograms. I'm gonna, if they call me in to follow up, I'm going to follow up. Like doing all of those things to stay on top of it. Okay, I'll check in just a second, Rosie. Um, okay, so general reading. Have you been working on your own manifesting? Because this is the way they'll now they're ringing into. They're stepping into that, and they're going. You're going to be all right. Relax now. Just enjoy life and create the life that you want. And they show me you journaling and like writing stuff down, and sort of like in that wavering mode. And they're like, just persist, just persist. Don't worry about when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen. Just persist and trust that it's coming. And it feels like these are fun things you're manifesting. Like I keep feeling like a vacation or a cruise or something where I'm seeing like more tropical type destination. And it's sort of like just like trust that it's happening. Like don't worry about oh, how's it gonna happen or whatever. Like maybe you maybe you end up winning some kind of contest. I don't know what it is, but it's just like just it's happening. Just persist. It's happening. It's all working and coming together. Hi, Urban Lady. It's good to see you. So do you journal like your manifestations? Do you So if any of you are jealous, by the way, I'm writing with my daughter's Smencil. It's a smelly pencil. I don't know why it's down here. It supposedly smells like blueberry. Probably smells like nothing now. But Rosie, I got your payment. Okay. Okay. So then staying positive about a new job is your manifesting. So whether or not, whatever, but it just feels like it's coming. Just stay with it and believe it's yours. Maybe go back to your manifestations. See if there's one in there about, I don't know, a vacation or whatever, but it just feels like there's something coming for you. Are you planning a vacation? Because there's something I saw you and I see a tropical destination. Gia, you're up. KK. So Gia and KK. And then we'll close the list because I just see it's like an hour and 20 minutes and I still got 6 questions left to answer. I hate you, KK. Absolutely. Hang on, Rosie, I'll get you when it's your turn, okay? Gee, I started a new job, but they let me go when I had to quarantine with my son, so you see me getting a new job soon. What? I'm pretty sure that's a medical reason you shouldn't. I'm pretty sure that's against the law. You're welcome, Laura. Um, um, General readings are not my favorite readings, I gotta be honest with y'all, but I'll do them. They're just never my favorite ones. I'm always like, they're more work. And people in my psychic development circle find this out because I throw you into doing general readings pretty much right away, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's a lot more work." Um, okay, Gia, let me look at this first. So, you will get another job, and I actually feel like you're gonna get a better paying job that it's all working out in, like, best case scenario, and I feel like you'll have one within the next 2.5 weeks. Um, so then that comes down to, like, also the manifesting thing, right? The knowing thing. I'm closer to 3 weeks, so I don't know if you interview at 2 weeks and then you start right away, but it feels like and you'll get better pay. So, first of all, I know someone's gonna hire me and I'm gonna get a job, no problem. Look, there is the great resignation right now. People are just dying for employees. So you have a lot more room to negotiate your wage. My friend of mine just started and she's like, "Yeah, they hired me and they started me at the highest possible rate that they can start somebody for starting salary." So for starting hourly, she makes hourly wage, but like and I said to her because she was like, "I don't know, are they gonna" I was like, "Of course they're gonna hire you. Do like I did when I was in nursing." I never thought like, "Oh, are they gonna hire me?" I was always like, "Whatever, when am I gonna start?" Like I didn't ever there was never a doubt. And it didn't matter that they said like, "Oh, you have these requirements," and I did wasn't qualified. Like I was like, "Whatever, you need bodies." So you need to move into like all of you when you're looking for jobs. Like they need me, I'm the best option they have. Like move into it with confidence. So yes, I do feel like you'll get a job and I do feel like it'll start very quickly and I feel like you're actually going to be making more than the last place that you were working at. Um and I feel like the benefits are actually a little bit better as well. So I feel like maybe the last place didn't offer matching for your 401k and that might be an option here. So it feels like you're going to be doing better long run. So it feels like they're sort of saying like like hold put your shoulders back, hold your head high, know your worth, know your value, know that you're getting hired and don't doubt that for 1 second. I am telling you, I'm so much into manifesting, you have no idea. I think just look around you, look at any of the most successful people and the way they talk, and even if they're not like, "Oh, I'm a master manifester," like, it's the way that they approach their thoughts and beliefs, and then you can look at all of the instances in your life where things haven't worked out. What were your thoughts and beliefs behind that, and what created that? Yeah, and you don't need to be paycheck to paycheck. So, I've got a job, they pay me well, more than I expected. So then you don't have to put an amount, just more than I expected. Just be general. It's got great benefits and great room to move, room for growth. Okay, you have a manager that manages your music for artist development, but I feel like he can't do much for me taking so he's just taking your money and not doing much for you? Am I understanding that? Okay. Um, so I do see opportunities for a new management, but I feel like again, it's like 6 months out. It feels like it's into next year, maybe even into June of next year, where the movement starts happening and finding somebody that actually helps you grow that in that area. Um, it feels like you're gonna be focused on a few other things, but it's, like, also your own development as an artist. So, maybe you're, recording more material or writing more music, but it just feels like you're sort of focused on your own thing, that it's not really necessary for you to have that management in place. And then also becoming more choosy about who you work with and how you work and the energy you're putting out there. Because I feel like you were settling for this manager. It feels like I just was so desperate to have anybody notice me and I was settling for it. So just like when you're manifesting an SP or a romantic partner, also make sure, and SP can mean, it doesn't, specific person. That's what it means. It doesn't have to mean romance. It can be the perfect manager. It can be the perfect boss. It can be the perfect coworker. Like, oh my God, this person I have to sit next to in this cubicle every day and I'm going crazy. Like, manifest a new an SP coworker, manifest an SP bus driver. Like, if you ride a certain bus every day and you're like, this person is the crabbiest MRFer, like maybe they just get a new route or they take a different, or they retire because they're old, like whatever it is. Like, SP does not have to be romantic. So manifest the manager to come in that's got the experience, that sees your values, that sees your worth, that has great energy, that's all about supporting you and helping you grow and really all about like getting you to the next level. Trust your gut. Exactly. So trust your gut. Trust, like, I'm all about telling people to trust their intuition. So if your intuition is saying this isn't working, it's not working. And you also then just trust the universe always sends you the right people at the right time. The original Yanni, the list is closed for the day. Um, But if you like and if you subscribe, I go live every Sunday with these types of questions. So you could come back next Sunday, and I donate 30% of the proceeds to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey because every dollar provides for 3 meals. And we have provided over 4,700 meals this year alone on my little channel. So that hopefully is going to keep getting bigger and bigger. Okay, so Laura, that is when you're saying something weird happens to me every time I try to manifest. I feel this tremendous opposition. I get really sad and can't even do 5 minutes of manifesting. That is, so your subconscious is the thing that's always running, right? So if you think about like, there's always electricity running through your house. It's whether you turn the lights on or not. But there's always hopefully there's always electricity running through your house, right? Let's go on that one. But let's go on the assumption that you always have electricity running through your house, right? That we all can afford it, and I know that that's not always the case. So I am trying to be sensitive to those people. Um, so hopefully electricity is always running through your house, and all you have to do is hit the switch, right? Because you can afford it, right? Um, so hopefully that's the case. And there's this resistance because your subconscious is the thing that's like, no, this is what I know. This is what I like. This is like the roommate Jamie who needs a lot of like warning and likes the routine. And the routine is the like, I'm not good enough. I'm not valuable. I've been hearing this. This is the path that's always been paved. Or as I said in one of my things, it's like the path in the forest. Why is there a path in the forest? Because it's been walked over many and many, like hundreds, thousands, and millions of times. And so the plants don't grow there anymore. It's not like they're going and paving, when you go hiking in the woods, it's not, and there's trails, they're there because they have been walked a lot of times. It's not because they go and clear the trails for you. It's because people continually walk over them. So your thoughts are continually walking over those paths, those neural pathways in your mind that are creating the, I am not good enough, I'm not smart enough. Until you're 7 years old, you don't have the availability of your brain to go to question things, to go like, oh, is that like, question the validity of what you're being taught. It's just it is. And so you're learning and you're absorbing and you're a little sponge. So that pathway has been made a long time ago about your value and your worth and what's possible and your beliefs and money. So if you grew up and you didn't have a lot of money and it was hard and people had to work really hard to get the money, or like they lived paycheck to paycheck, or, you know, um, you had to work for somebody else in order to earn money, or, life was just difficult, hard, whatever, you always had to save, 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 penny pinch. You're going to have that as your neural pathway. So you have to go through and you have to go against the cognitive dissonance that says, oh, I don't want to change. That's the way it always is. So you have to persist. So, yeah, we all, when we start to manifest and we start deciding on a new pathway and we're having to reprogram our belief systems, we all hit that cognitive dissonance. We all hit that feeling of like that sadness, or that like anxiety feeling, or that like heart racy flight or fight feeling mode. You have to go, it's safe, I'm okay, we're good. And you persist. You don't have to believe what you're changing with the new thing you're making. And when you build a new pathway in the woods and you start to walk a new route, the leaves start to get crushed down a little bit. And if you never walk that route again, they're going to go up like you were never there, right? There's a storm, whatever, it's all cleared out like you were never there. That old pathway, though, as you continually walk the new one and you say like, no, I'm not going to go that path anymore. I refuse to walk about that. I refuse to believe that I'm not good enough. I refuse to believe I'm not valuable. I refuse to believe I'm not worthy. That old pathway starts to like grow over and become non-existent. But the option is still there, and the more that we have that belief system grounded, the bigger story we have around it, the more you have to work at it. The more you have to remind yourself, no, it is easy to make money. People love me. People love my services. People want to pay for these things. I am lovable. I am beautiful. I have an amazing body. If you've been telling yourself that, those kind of things. So you have to persist. That's what persistence is. It's not because like it's not possible. My stomach just growled. It's not possible. So if you heard it, 'cause last on Friday, I think it was, my stomach growled really loud, and then you could hear it on the video, and I'm like, oh my god, I eat. I promise. um, so you have to persist. You just do, because that's the way your subconscious has been trained something for so long that you have to reprogram. Some things are easier to reprogram than others. That's just the way it is. I don't know why. We have a bigger story around it. Whatever, but just persist. Like if you get that sadness, that's just your, cognitive dissonance. You got to go, this will be okay with new change. We're always okay with change. There are people that freaked out when we went to computers, when we went from going from paper charting in the hospitals to computers. That's how long ago I was a nurse. And they were like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. And I thought, check, click, 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 click. Like, this is fine. This is easy. My hand doesn't hurt. Like, it all works itself out. You just have to like ignore then wear your purple sweater every day. Remind yourself. That's why I'm wearing the purple sweater, Laura. It's not that it's hard or impossible. It's just that it requires you to be persistent. Learning my mom said, she's a piano teacher, and she says, adults come to her and they usually quit after 2 months. Why? Because they didn't realize it was work. You have to put in the work. And the work is persisting and reprogramming, and listening to the sleep meditations at night really helped me. It helped kick me off, but I still go through the day and I persist and I do the I am stuff because I'm not perfect, because I'm human and I'm having a human experience, and I'm gonna have down days where I feel like, sometimes things aren't working for me, and then I snap out of it. That's why becoming aware is good, because you start to become aware of your subconscious thoughts that are old thoughts. Like, I'm having a harder day. No, I'm not. This is great. I can persist. It's not toxic positivity. It's learning to recognize, well, okay, of course I'm going to have those moments where I kind of fall back a little bit. All right, KK, you want a general reading? And then Mariana, if you want to ask your question. And that was a great thing to bring up because you're not the only one that has a hard time when they're manifesting. You're not the only one that struggles with it. Every single person does. Even the coaches have their areas that they're hard at. Of course, a lot of them don't want to say that because like then they're not selling their product, but we all struggle. We all have moments where it's harder. Some areas are easier to manifest than others. Um, you can do this. I promise. Okay, so KK general reading. You're probably not going to hear this, but so they said you're doing fine. They said it's okay for you to let down your personal guard a little bit and to let people in a little bit. It doesn't mean you're being weak, and it doesn't mean you're going to miss a sign. It feels like they're saying you're in a better place now than you ever have been to see the red flags, to know them and to trust them and to trust yourself and your intuition. You don't always have to know the answer, and you don't always have to see like the big picture to know that you're safe and you're okay. Oh, Juliet, stay here and listen. Maybe there's something for you to learn. But I'd love to have you back next week. Also, don't be so afraid to like this is for you, KK. It just feels like afraid to like that if you talk about something opposite that it's automatically gonna um create what you don't want. It sort of feels like sometimes when you release something and get it out there, then it like leaves room to not feel that pressure of like trying to it's like a resistance for like trying to not have it so that you don't create it. Does that make sense? I hope I explained that right. So the thing about I used to think that too about negative language, like I don't want to use not because then it doesn't mean, but like if it's a natural assumption to be like, oh yeah, that never happens to me, like you're sort of using a negative language or like but if you have that assumption that something never happens to you, then like it never happens to you. It's not until you start going, "Oh my god, what if?" Like that you maybe create it, but like if you're sort of like of the, "Oh, like, yeah, that never happens to me. I'm not worried about it." Like, I'm not worried about letting in negative energy because like I'm well protected. Never happens to me. I'm good. Mariana, you're up. And then Quarty and Rosie, you guys are all up. You can ask in any order, is fine. Oh, I'm glad that was helpful for you, Gia. Watch more of my manifesting videos. Come chat with me. They end up being like, honestly, continued conversations because there was something that came up on Friday at the very end, but my daughter was home, my 4-year-old, and she wanted to play. And you actually get a little peek of her crazy curly hair. Um, but there was like something that came up at the end, and I'm going to rewatch it because I was thinking about like, oh, I want to talk about that more. I want to go into that more. So it becomes a continued conversation. You didn't miss anything. You're fine, Rosie. You didn't miss anything. um, you're very welcome, KK. Mariana, if you want to ask your question. Oh, there you are. I'm struggling with staying positive and manifesting a good and new job. The current position is awful. My current boss is so harsh all the time and treats employees like children. Don't you love those people? I had 4 different job interviews and 2 looked great. And I really manifested them, but they didn't come through. It's my guardian angels to help. Do you see any jobs coming really soon? So first and foremost, what we focus on, like I always say what you think about, you bring about. What you focus on is sort of like you do bring more of that in. So like, and it's really hard when it's in your face every day, like at a job And I used to on my breaks, I worked at one place, and I had travelers say to me, like, "How do you stay here so long?" It was as a travel nurse. And I was like, "A, I do not ever work on the same floor twice," like, meaning I was a float. I specifically said, if I wanna be here and have a contract, but I want you to float me. I don't ever wanna stay on the same unit." Because I just didn't wanna be in the mix of all the, like, because if you're a nurse, you understand this, or you work in the hospital, there's a lot of weird stuff that happens, and it can be really kinda toxic. Um, and there's a lot of I don't know. There's just weird politically stuff that goes on. And I don't like to be like, I always was like, I just want to go to work and do my job and take care of my patients. And like, I don't want to be on committees. I don't want to be like, that's not me. Like, I just want to do my job. Like, I never had a desire to be a charge nurse, although I did charge as a charge nurse and I was fine doing it as when I was a traveler, I did charge nurse positions, but I didn't want to like, yeah. And I had travel nurses that would be like, "How do you stay here so long?" And that was how I stayed there so long because I didn't get involved. But I would go on my break literally and write. I have really wonderful coworkers, blah, blah, blah. But what I didn't realize is I was bringing up, I was creating some of my own stuff because I didn't value myself. I didn't have confidence in myself. Um, I didn't, I always was seeking outside validation. And the fact of the matter is you don't need anybody outside of you to validate you. So what is it that's triggering about your boss talking to people like they're children? It questions your like what makes you feel what? Not seen, not heard, not valued, questions your intelligence and your I can't think of the word want to say, your I don't know, your knowledge. No, but that's intelligence, but it's something else. But so I can't think of it. Whatever. It's gone out of my head. So the point is like there's a lot of that like stuff. So it's like you sort of in those moments where they're doing that, just kind of go, oh yeah, yeah. And like it's not about humoring them, but it's recognizing that some of the stuff has to catch up. So maybe it's not that maybe you when you're manifesting, you're not necessarily manifesting a new job. Maybe you stay at the new job and your boss suddenly leaves. I actually see that happening. Um, and finds a new position. So you can manifest for that. My boss found a great new position. All of a sudden, it happened quickly. It was so unexpected. Done. My employees complain about her. I can't let it go through. Okay, so and you're used to making your own decisions, so you feel like your knowledge and your wisdom is questioned, like you're not like it's like, oh, I'm not capable. Like you think that I'm not capable. Understand also that's not about you. That's about her and her stuff. So when you're having those thought of like where it's triggering to you because of that, and no, you can't have it for your own employees, but manifest for her to leave. Isn't that easier than finding a new job? Because the reality is you're gonna bring up issues with that in your other positions regardless if you don't, like, sort of work on that. So 3D doesn't matter, circumstances don't matter. I don't care how, like, long she's been here or what her qualifications are, circumstances don't matter. I have an amazing boss, that respects me, that values me because why? Because I'm valuable. I respect myself. I'm kind, I'm good, I'm really great at my job. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I know, whatever. I'm great at being a manager. That said, I see a shift in 3 months. And I don't know if it means that you take her position because she leaves or if it means you get a new position because you could do her job. And I feel like you could do her job sleeping. And I think that's what's so insulting about the way she is because you could do her job sleeping. So remind yourself when you're frustrated, circumstances don't matter. I have an amazing job. Um, I don't know. So you're focusing on all the other, you're focusing outside of yourself right now. You're focusing on her. So I just feel like what I keep seeing is it's gonna there's gonna be a change in 3 months. I actually feel like she's gonna be leaving, but I feel like there's gonna be a change in 3 months for you. And it also feels like not focusing on her behavior. I mean, you can have her leave, you can manifest for her to leave and get a new job, but focusing on, like, start doing a little introspective work on why it triggers you so much when she treats people that way. Like, I don't know, because there's certain things I see now that used to trigger me a lot, and I'm like, "Whatever, I don't care," and then, like, and it drops away and it fades away, and it's, like, never an issue, and it doesn't keep coming up because I built more of my, like, I'm really good at what I do. I don't need somebody to outside of me to validate me. Um, like, when someone questions me and is like or is like, thinks what I do is crazy or out there or loony, I'm just like, it used to really upset me and be like, "Oh my god." But you know what? Like, I don't care because 'cause I've realized, like, a lot of that's, like, really just, like, I'm good at what I do. I really believe in what I do. I've proven over and over that I'm good at what I do, and, I don't need anybody's outside validation for it. So it just feels like getting more confident in who you are. And then instead of feeling like, "Why doesn't she see it?" or "Why does she feel like it's not about you?" So instead of going, "She's not noticing," it's just like, "Oh, my boss notices that I'm really good at what I do. My boss gives me the freedom to make the decisions and the choices because I'm really good at what I do. Um, my boss values me because I am valuable." Right. So now what you're gonna manifest is, my boss gives me the space to be the leader that I am because she knows I'm really good at what I do. Because really, it comes down to when your boss is micromanaging your employees, your boss isn't trusting you. I trust myself. I'm valuable. So you need to rewrite some of that stuff. Shauna, you can go to my make sure you're subscribed so you won't miss it. And then also, if you sign up for my email, I send one email a week, and I usually send it on Saturday to remind you, and you can get on the list and be earlier on the list too. And that is, if you just go to myspiritualfriend.com, you can do that. And then also like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Um, so it just feels like you're focusing a lot on her and what she's doing. And it's like, just focus on rewriting that, right? So my boss knows I'm valuable. My boss knows. And my boss treats me with respect because I respect myself. Um, I am valuable. I am worthy. And my boss gives me the room to manage my employees because instead of trying to manage them herself. But I feel like there's a shift in 3 months, and I don't know exactly what that is, but all I can tell you is I feel like there's a shift in 3 months. So I don't know if it's that you manifest your boss to leave or you get a new job. And then again, manifesting is all about persisting. So even when you hear that cognitive dissonance that goes, "No, no, I like the old path better because it's easier because I've walked it a million times and I don't have to work at it." You go, "No, no, no, I love you too, but we're doing a new thing because I know it's better for me in the long run." Right? It takes more work to create a new path in the forest than it does to walk the old one, but it could be a better path, and it can lead to a river and I don't know, totally different view and a more amazing thing. But so 3 months is what I see. So you can manifest a new job, and it's not about being positive all the time because you know what? You can manifest without being positive. You don't have to be positive. You just have to be persistent. You manifest negative shit in your life all the time. So it's not about being positive. It's about just persisting in a thought pattern. And you don't have to believe it at first. You don't have to believe she's going to leave. Just persist on that. That's your story. And you may feel totally delusional, and that's okay too. You just persist. Like, how many people who created, like, look at everybody thought Elon Musk was totally like, I mean, it's like, oh yeah, he's gonna create that, whatever. And he sounds delusional half the time. And you're like, okay, whatever. Like Kanye West, delusional, has mental health issues. It's obvious as mental health issues. And yet, for a long time before he ever was, he was like, I'm the best rapper there was. And I remember hearing that and be like, oh my God, but you know what? He's doing the I am stuff and he's persisting with it and he's really successful. Do I think that he's got some other mental health issues? Yes. So I'm not saying that that's not there, but persistence is really the key. Howard Stern called himself the king of radio for how long? And he wasn't. And now he is. And I really believe that's about persistence. Okay. So persist. Don't doubt yourself. And when you hear that naysayer, just be like, whatever, circumstances don't matter. And you have to go in and reassure yourself. Okay, QWERTY, you wanted to know about when is Ryan going to come and say his real feelings or admit it. I still feel like there's doubt with you, QWERTY, about your own self-concept. Like, it's like you still have Ryan on a pedestal. Like, it needs to shift from like, oh, when is this going to happen? It's like, yeah, of course it's going to happen because I'm amazing, because Ryan knows that I'm the most amazing person, because Ryan knows that I'm beautiful and I'm valuable and I'm interesting and I'm unique and I've got something to offer that no one else has to offer. So it feels like you need to shift that mindset because they're still like putting Ryan on a pedestal. QWERTY, are you there? And I actually feel like when you start to focus on this, like, and have this attitude, yes, okay. So when you start to focus on this, it happens when you start to focus on this and have this attitude and have it like set within 3 weeks of you doing that, you start to see movement from Ryan. You see like more like just flirtatious interactions and interest, but it's like almost like they're also making me feel like you're not really putting yourself out there. And so it's not that you need to be like, Ryan, what do you think of me? It's like more like shifting your energy to where you walk and you exude this like amazing thing. I'm going to go back to the example that I used in one of my lives about this guy who was an international drug smuggler, and he had couriers who carried the drugs in and out of like customs and stuff for him. And did the, what do they call them? Drug mule. He called him a courier, which I think sounds nicer than a drug mule, right? So, and I'm not saying anybody should be an international drug smuggler. I'm just using the example that the guy who did the drug smuggling, he's like, he was the best courier. Why? Because he created a character for himself. He wasn't thinking like, oh my God, is anybody going to see the drugs that I'm carrying? He was like, no, I'm this one time he said he came through and he pretended he was dressed like a tennis player. And he's like, well, what were you thinking when you're carrying the drugs? It's like, I wasn't thinking about the drugs. I was thinking about all the matches I won. I was thinking about how amazing I was and like the games that I played and the strokes that I hit and like, like, and he carried the thing. So it's like, stop putting Ryan on a pedestal. Ryan is just a dude. Maybe he's a good looking dude, but he's still a dude. And maybe he's really successful, but he's still a dude. So you have to just be like, of course Ryan likes me because I'm amazing, because I'm the catch. And start reprogramming that. I'm telling you, when I started working on my own self-concept, I stopped looking in the mirror and thinking, like, seeing all the flaws around. I was like, yeah, I look good. Like, it was not, it was a persisting thing. And it doesn't mean that I think I'm perfect. I'm perfect just as I am, but it doesn't mean everything in my body is perfect the way I want it to be, or that I think I'm the most beautiful person ever. But I also don't look at myself and be like, oh, I feel terrible. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do that anymore. So put yourself on the pedestal, build your self-concept, and then the energy about you will just be like so magnetic that Ryan's going to be like, what? Oh yeah, look at her. Okay. And I feel like when you do this, it's literally 3 weeks and you start seeing movement very quickly. And stop going, when's it going to happen? Like, it's going to happen. You need to shift you. And there's a 3. So it's either 3 days or 3 weeks, but it's like you start to see the movement quickly, where it's like, oh, what did you do different? Where he starts taking more interest and he takes the lead. And of course he's interested in you because you're amazing, because you're fabulous. And magnetic, and all of those good things. So it's not long at all. Rosie, you're up, dear. Stop doubting yourself, Qwerty. Hi from New Jersey, Anushri. Do you go by Anush for short? Where's Rosie? What's your question, dear? Oh, wait, hang on. Nope, you didn't type it. My ears are doing something weird right now. Rosie, Rosie, where are you? Y'all should start listening to my manifesting stuff more. Come chat with me. I'll help you with manifesting. I've got good things coming in regards to that because I don't believe that you need a candle to manifest or a rock. I just like this because I feel like Anush, I'm not doing any I'm the list is closed right now, but if you come back next week at 4 p.m. Eastern time, it shouldn't have changed hours yet. I will be I'm live every week. If you subscribe to my channel, you'll get a notification when I go live. I also do lives during the week to talk about manifesting. So you can manifest your husband back. From Rosie, I can't seem to find link to send on money for one question reading. Thinking of resigning. Oh, thank you, KK. I'm thinking of resigning. Thank you, Anush. And KK, thank you for going through and finding all of those. Thinking of resigning. I'm fed up. The difficulties in my work environment from two women in particular. Appreciate I can't go to HR matters, only get worse when they get involved. In a very difficult work environment, isolated, two women causing difficulties. Perfect. Can I have the two women's names, please? I gotta tell you, because of nursing, I worked with a few difficult women myself. And like after being out of the situation, having grown in my own healing journey and just growing in wisdom and maturity, I look back and I realize they were in their 40s when I was in my 20s and early 30s. And I think they were just extremely insecure. I mean, there was that's all I could see. And if I could see it then, I would have had such a better, I think I would have maybe handled it better. If we had been, I don't know. I just think I would have seen it a lot differently. Unfortunately, I was an easy target, so to speak. So, I see you're here. So my question for you, Rosie, is what do you want me to, should you resign? So I always tell people I won't tell you what you should do because I feel like that takes away free will. But I will tell you this. Um, I feel like you'll get a job, no problem. And I feel like it'll be similar pay on par with same type of work you're doing. But I also feel like you will maybe not as bad, but I feel like you'll sort of run into the same similar situation of not feeling respected, not feeling like you're a valued employee or you're just a number, that kind of feeling. So, my recommendation, you will get another job, you will, be fine. Send Deirdre. Um, I think you need to forward your, I think you're not caught up quite with the live part of it. I think you're probably just lagging just slightly behind. Um, but my sense is that I actually feel like you will change positions in about 2 months' time and leave the company and work with somebody else. But I also feel like it would behoove you to work on your self-concept so that when these situations come up, you can do the, like, circumstances don't matter. Of course, my coworkers respect me and my boss respect me and value me because I am valuable, I'm worthy, I respect myself. And again, it's like you have to go in and reprogram the stuff and kind of say them over and over and do them as affirmations and affirm a new reality and a new belief system because that old pathway through the woods, creating the new pathway is more work and it takes time and it takes consistency and it takes persistence to veer away from that old path. And sometimes that desire to want to go to that old path kind of pops up because it's easier or it's the natural progression of things. And like, you know how when you're driving, and I don't know why, but there's times where sometimes I'll turn left instead of right to go because I'm used to turning left all the time to go to certain places, but I actually have to go right to get out of my main street and out of my neighborhood because there's somewhere else I have to go and it's that way. Like, it's like, well, there's a Target one way and there's a Target the other way, but I want to go to the one thing, but I'm so used to going to this one. Right. So it's sort of like that. Like, that's why those old beliefs keep coming up where you're like, I thought I worked on this and I was doing so well. Instead of going like, it's just out of habit that you go in that old direction. So instead of beating yourself up over it, you go, oh, well, that's fine. I didn't ruin anything. I'll just turn around and go the other way and I'll persist the other way. So, KK, will you just tell her to like maybe forward because she's not quite caught up. She needs to drag the thing to get caught up to where I'm at. So it just feels like you need to also, while looking for another job, work on your self-concept. I am valuable. I'm a valuable employee. I am, and creating this new belief system. And then don't get down on yourself when find yourself stumble a little bit. It's just like sometimes it's a natural habit to go that way and you just have to go redirect. And that's normal. Thanks, KK. But you're doing fine. It just feels like you need to do the like, I respect myself, I love myself, I'm confident, I am valuable, I am worthy. The universe is always has my back. Things are always working out for me. Um, things always work out best case scenario. Of course, my coworkers love me because I'm amazing. Of course, my bosses are always giving me accolades or looking to give me raises or are complimenting me because they know that I am valuable, I am respectable, I do respect myself. I always show up the best version of myself. Listen, and the best version of yourself may not be the same best version of yourself yesterday, and it may not be the same best version of yourself tomorrow. That's okay. You're always showing up the best version of yourself. All right. So, KK, rocked on. Thank you for staying with me so long. It has been a long 2 hours. Rosie, I hope that was helpful for you. Again, I do see a shift in 2 months, but I don't. It's like I feel like you'll be leaving. But I also feel like if you don't work on that self concept, you're going to run into issues, maybe not as toxic with these women um, as Lisa and Deidre, but you're still going to run into some issues with feeling like you're just a number. So let's make you not a number and work on yourself belief system. All right. Good night. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Hopefully all the kids will be in school, so I'll be able to be on here and be live at 10:30 in the morning for a manifesting chat on Mondays. I do the same on Thursdays and Fridays, and I will be back next Sunday for another live set of readings where 30% of the donations or 30% of the proceeds go to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. Thank you again for all of your love and support. Welcome if you're new. And I will see you again. And then I'm also opening up a new circle, so keep an eye out for that on my website today or tomorrow. And I'll post it when I do it on here. Have a good one. Thanks, KK. Thank you, Rock John.